All right, good evening, folks, and welcome to the race chat for the Tiree 10K and half marathon 2025. This is happening next week, isn't it? So we are a week away, and we're at that stage where I start getting really excited about it. Things are coming together, and it's, yeah, a week away. And I think, especially after watching the scenes from the London Marathon earlier today, it just reminds me that there's something really special about running and taking on that sort of challenge. And there's certainly something amazingly special about Tiree. So I hope that next weekend really pulls those things together for you. And this chat is really just so that you can get the most out of your visit to Tiree. I'm aware that there's a lot of people out there that I know. A lot of you come up to Tiree many times in the past, but there's also quite a few of you who we've not met before, and maybe you've not been up to Tiree. So, um, hello, my name is Will. I'm the person that's been emailing you and posting blue sky pictures on the Facebook group. Tiree is mostly like that. It's not always like that. But yeah, whether this is the first of many, sorry, the first time upon Tiree, or whether you've been here many times before, I just want you to feel really welcome, and we look forward to welcoming you to the island next weekend. We just got a few folk coming in, so I'll let those join in now. There we go. So the idea of this is to allow you to get the most out of the weekend and to reassure you if this is your first time upon Tiree, and perhaps settle some nerves. So yeah, let's get started. First up, so far the weather forecast looks favourable for next weekend. I say that with a degree of caution because you know what it's like, and we've been in this position before. This is not our first rodeo, but so far the forecast is looking good, and perhaps a bit more reliably, the tide states look good as well. So it's going to be a mid-tide going out, which means that there's plenty of space on the beach to run on. So things are looking favourable for next weekend, and we also have an event team assembled and ready to give you the most amount of support as you run around that course. So from this side, things are looking good. You need to do your bit now, which is to prepare for next weekend. Hopefully on a training side, you've done that already, and it's the packing and the last minute things to get together. So on that note, I know people are always a bit concerned about what shoes to wear and what things to pack. So perhaps it's going to be helpful if I just kind of go through the sort of course you're going to be running over, which you're probably aware of already, but just to settle those nerves. The course you're running on, well, you start on the beach. You start on the longest beach on Tiree, Got Bay. It's a firm, sandy beach, and that tide is going to be going out. But it does mean that your shoes and your feet are probably going to get wet fairly quickly. It's that way where, you know, when the sand goes all kind of dimply and there's water in between. So when you're running on it, even though it's quite good running surface, your feet end up getting wet and there's water that comes down onto the beach. So yeah, expect that to be the case. You're running on the beach for a long way and a bit more, and then you come up onto the grass. You've got a grassy section, some farm tracks, you get onto the road, you've got another grassy bit, you're down onto another beach, you're over some grass, you're back onto another beach, you're up onto a slightly muddy track, you're back onto a beach. There's maybe a little bit of a boggy section, but I'll try and route the course around that. You've got a road section, you're back onto the beach again, and it kind of continues like that basically. So hopefully that paints an idea that it's going to be a mixed terrain course. So when you're thinking about what shoes to wear, if you haven't decided already, a trail shoe is going to work. Definitely a trail shoe that works well on the road, but you could also do the run in road shoes, particularly quite grippy road shoes. That would work. Things I'd avoid would be a minimalist trail shoe. I used to run in Innovates. I think it was the Trail Talons they were called. Super grippy off-road, but absolutely lousy on the road. So something like that is probably not going to work well. And then at the other side of things, that shiny new pair of road shoes that you got, that you want to keep shiny and new looking, I probably wouldn't choose those unless you don't mind getting them dirty. So save those for dancing, but everything else in between should work. Does that make sense? If you're not sure, then jump on the Facebook group. There's loads of advice on there from people that have run the course before, and there's pictures of the course so you get an idea as to what the ground looks like. Other kit is really up to you. Um, have a look at the forecast. I can't see it being a heat wave like they're experiencing down south. Um, choose the kit that's going to work on the day. You're welcome to leave stuff at the start line if that's helpful. You're welcome to leave stuff around the course if you end up taking layers off. What's the old adage? Hope for the best, plan for the worst. It's looking favourable, but bring kit to suit all conditions. You don't need to carry water with you when you're running. There's water stations around the course. We've got a water station at 3 kilometres, another one at 7 kilometres, and for those doing the half marathon, you'll pass those 2 water stations on the second lap. So 2 water stations for the 10k, 4 water stations for the half. Navigation around the course, you don't really need to navigate. There's route arrows like this around the course. There's marshals. I think at every junction there's a marshal at. So I'd be impressed if anybody gets lost, put it that way. So yeah, keep a lookout for route arrows. Listen to the marshals. Don't board any ferries. Don't get lifts from strangers, and you can't get too far wrong. Okay. Anything else? I've got a few bullet points here. Let's just go through those. So a few bullet points about the course. The roads are open, so respect of the road users. The ground is bumpy, off-road as well as on-road. So keep your eyes up, looking where you're going. This is an important point. Tiree's an agricultural place. It's crofting and those traditional industries are still very much prevalent up here, and it's lambing season, which is an absolutely stunning time of year. So there's little lambs in the field. We've got some lambs outside the house here, but just be mindful of that. If you're spectating with dogs should be on leads at all times anyway, but just be mindful of where you go and try and avoid areas where that's likely to cause any distress. And also talking about dogs as well, the start line, even though it's on an open beach, can get quite congested. So to avoid any entanglements, perhaps give that start line some space if you're spectating with dogs. But it's for the lambing season reasons that we don't allow runners to run with dogs as you're passing through open fields and past areas where there'll be lambs. Other points: can you leave bags at the start line? You can leave bags at the Lodge Hotel, and you can leave small items at the start line if you like. Please don't drop any litter around the course. You guys are always very good at not doing that, so we appreciate those efforts. And general island etiquette is to wave and smile at everybody. So that applies whether you're walking, cycling, driving, or sunbathing. Giving a wave and a smile always goes down well. Last bullet point here is you'll be given your race number at registration. Can you make sure that you wear that on your front? So either on your chest or on the front of the leg here, but just so that we can see that when you run through marshal stations, but really importantly, when you run over the finish line. I really like to do things the old-fashioned way, also the hard way probably, so it's a manual finish time system, so we need to be able to see your race number. So please make sure that's visible on your front as you come over the line. All right, that was quite a few bullet points in the end. A few things about timings, and this is all online anyway, so you can find this. Registration, you need to come to registration to collect your goodie bag and your race number. That's 11 till 1 at the Lodge Hotel. I know quite a few of you have asked about switching from the half to 10k. I don't think anyone's asked to go the other way yet, but if you want to go one way or the other, that's absolutely fine. We can do that for you. Come and find me at registration. If you collect your number as usual first, then come and find me. I'll get that sorted for you, so that's not a problem at all. The race starts at 2 o'clock down on the beach, so make sure you're good to go then. And the lodge is serving hot food and drinks all afternoon. So it's just going to be a really cool place to hang out. Do support the runners as they come in. Do get some food and drink from the lodge. Yeah, the atmosphere on that beach is brilliant, so stick around and enjoy that. Last finisher we're expecting sometime just after 5 o'clock, and then after that you've just about got time to get showered, get changed and get your dancing shoes on. The dance starts at 7:30, or the doors open at 7:30, First songs play in about 8:30 probably. All right, and that's at Antala. Tickets will be on sale at registration on the day. All right, so that is your day. That is your course. Those are your timings. The day after, I just posted on the Facebook group, we've got yoga on the beach at 1 o'clock, followed by beach clean. That's at Crosspole. So check out that post. Come along for that. Everybody's welcome to that. There's no charge for that. Come along, do some stretching, and enjoy some time on the beach, doing something helpful, and getting the chat with your fellow runners. I think we're nearly there. The other things that I'd say is that we've got podium prizes to hand out and some spot prizes at the dance. If for some reason you can't make it to the dance and you're a podium winner, do let me know and we'll try and get your prizes to you. Big thank yous to the guys at Tiree Gin for providing some of our podium prizes. The distillery is up at Balafool at the west end of the island, so I'd really encourage you to check that out. That's open on Friday, Saturday and Sunday. You'll be running all day Saturday, so Friday and Monday will be the times to visit. And we've got the unofficial headquarters at Yellow Hair Cafe at the Pier and Hebridean Roast in Scarinish. So I'm sure you'll get a chance to call in at those places. And yeah, I mentioned earlier that we've got an event team assembled ready to help you around the course. One of the things I really hope that comes across well from this event is that it's a community event. It's an island community that you're visiting. And when I put out the shout for an event team, I get so many people coming back wanting to support, wanting to cheer you around the course. This is a really well received event on the island. And I just hope that you really feel that welcome and a part of the community for the weekend. I really appreciate the energy that you guys all bring when you come over to these events. There's something really positive and uplifting about it, and I love that. So yeah, a big thank you to the event team, but also a big thank you to you for preparing, for traveling, and doing everything that it takes to come up here and take part in this event. And beyond that, I would just wish you the very best of luck on the day. I will see you on the start line and I will see you on the finish line as well. Okay, that was pretty quick. What I'll do then is I'll just open things up. If you've got any questions, you're welcome to take yourself off mute. You're welcome to pop something in the chat, which I'm not sure if that's even open, but find some way of asking questions if you've got them. Kitty, does that cover it? I think it's just, oh, I should have mentioned as well, it is 1 lap for the 10K and it's 2 laps for the half marathon. So when you come back onto the beach, 10K runners will be guided to the finish line. Half marathon runners will be guided along the beach, further along the beach this is, to a turnaround point. They'll then come back, they'll run back past where the start line was, and that'll be the start of their second lap. When they come back onto the beach, it'll just be straight to the finish line. And that all together will add up to your half marathon distance. So 1 lap for the 10, 2 laps with that little turnaround for the half. It will be well signposted, but just to give you a heads up so you know what to expect. Warning signs for road users. I think that's about it. Route arrows to guide you around the course. Any questions? Oh, something on the chat. I need to figure out how to actually see this. Yes, the t-shirts are part of the goodie bag, unless you opted when you entered. Unless you opted to have no t-shirt in your goodie bag, then yes, you do get the t-shirts along with a few other goodies, and we can take payments for anything else in cash or card. I think those are the options, aren't they? We've got contactless payment at registration, but also on the bar in the evening, so cash or card is fine throughout the weekend. Any other questions? Was that everything? Can I think of anything else? top of my head, bikes. If you're bringing bikes over and you haven't booked them onto the ferry and you haven't let me know about that, can you ping me a little message? So what I do is I collate information for CalMac. I'll send that off to them tomorrow morning, and then CalMac know how many additional bikes are likely to be on the sailing so they can save space. And look, just on the subject of transport, I know it's tricky to get to places like Tiree. CalMac do their best to make things as possible as they can make them, but I know that often just comes across as confusing and challenging. So I appreciate everybody's patience on that. Things do work out in the end, and we do our best to help out with what's going on with the ferry. So yes, thank you for your patience. And we've got a ferry position here. Clarify position of bikes on the ferry. So you can take your bikes on the ferry. You just need to get your foot passenger tickets, so you don't need to book them online. I don't think it's possible to book them online, but do let me know if you're taking bikes on. Someone said electric bikes. That applies to all types of bikes. Yeah, so there's a few comments on the chat there about bikes. Could you just ping me a message either by email or somehow so I've got that rather than on the group chat here, because I think when I close down the Zoom I'll not see that again. We are camping. Oh, that's a nice question. Is it a good idea to bring food if you're camping? Bring food if you want. There is a co-op. The co-op is really well stocked, and yeah, I think on the whole the island appreciates that boost of trade in the early season. So yes, come and support the local shops, but equally bring some mainland food over and share it. There's a lot of food that you can't get here, so yeah, if you have mainland goodies, make sure you share them. What else we got? Okay, I think that's everything on the chat. Look, if you do have questions, if you're not sure of anything, feel free to reach out directly. I'll do my best to help, or post on the Facebook group. And there's plenty of people that have run this event many times who will probably be able to give you better advice than I can in some ways. But yeah, I think that's about it. Okay. All right, no more questions coming in. So yeah, next weekend, really looking forward to it, guys. It's going to be a brilliant weekend, and I will see you on the island when you arrive. Okay, guys, thanks for tuning in this evening, and I'll see you on Tiree very soon.